Hail Internet, it's Matt here for the Dork Lords. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We talk about all manner of dorkly things here, whether it's sci-fi, fantasy, superheroes. We probably have a playlist about it. Feel free to check us out. Today is another in our Dork Lord of the Rings segments. Because yesterday, a new teaser trailer dropped for the Rings of Power. Oddly enough, it's a teaser teasing a teaser? But anyway, at the end of the trailer, it mentions there is another teaser coming on Thursday, July 14th. So we'll do this again. This trailer is focused on the fireball that we saw in the first trailer, affectionately known as Meteor Man by Fellowship of Fans and others, because it is in fact a mysterious individual. We saw a glimpse of Meteor Man post-crash in the first trailer as well. If you saw my mini topics video, I discussed my theory for the location of the watchtower we see in this trailer. And I think my theory is strengthened by a second shot showing the tower at a distance. In short, I think this tower photo shows the elf Arondir gazing east towards the rising sun from a region the show is calling Tir Harad, Southwatch. The tower is next to a river running east-west, and there's a line of mountains running east-west just to the south of the tower. I think this region is the crossings of Poros on Third Age maps. It's the southwest corner of Mordor. And I think Arondir is looking east at a yet-to-be-desolate Mordor. We get Lenny Henry's Harfoot character, Sadok Burrows, giving the only dialogue of the trailer, "The skies are strange." And he looks at a tome that might be some kind of an astrological chart. There appear to be some stars marked on the pages. And I'll take a moment to say that of all my concerns for this show, and there are a few, personally, my biggest concern is the dialogue. Unlike Lord of the Rings, this show doesn't have a bunch of Tolkien's own dialogue to draw from, so they had to write it themselves. And I want to hear more of the dialogue in these trailers to get a sense of how they did. We see Gil-galad, Celebrimbor, Elrond, Durin IV, all looking to the sky, presumably at the meteor, but the meteor isn't shown in the same shot. Likewise, we see Tar Miriel, Queen of Numenor, on Numenor, looking up at something as white petals float around her. I don't think she's looking at the meteor for a reason that I'll mention in a second. I think she's looking at Nimloth, the white tree, which grows in the king's court in Armenelos. A seedling from that tree was taken by Isildur to Middle-earth, and eventually, a distant relative of that tree blossomed in Minas Tirith at the end of the Third Age. The reason I think she's looking at the tree with some concern is that her father, the king Tar Palantir, foretold that if the white tree ever perished, then the line of kings would come to an end, which it does with her husband and cousin, Ar-Pharazôn. We also see Ents, maybe even an Ent family. There's a smaller Ent, perhaps an Entling, suggesting that one of the Ents is in fact an Ent wife. The Ent wives get all but wiped out at the end of the Second Age, likely due to Sauron's scorched earth policy. And it will be very tragic to see that story unfold throughout this series. We also get another shot of Numenor with its giant stone carvings and majestic architecture. Looks great. And the most intriguing shot is of Galadriel and some fellow elves sailing on a swan boat surrounded by seabirds. Something is giving off light ahead of them, whether it's the sun, the meteor, or the two trees. Some people are conjecturing that this is a flashback of Galadriel sailing west or attempting to sail west during the years of the trees. I just don't see how that works story-wise. The trees of Valinor were destroyed before she left Aman, and she traveled east, and she traveled on foot, not by boat. The boats were notably burned. So I don't think this necessarily lines up with a Years of the Trees flashback. We're pretty sure that she ends up shipwrecked and taken to Numenor in this show. So I think she's sailing out of the Grey Havens. For what purpose, I'm not sure. Maybe this is her attempt to head west, which is going to end with a sunken ship. The number of seabirds suggests Galadriel's boat is still near a harbor. So I think she's just left the Grey Havens. She's in the Gulf of Loon when the meteor goes by, and that's the light she's seeing. And that brings up a good question. What is the trajectory of this meteor? If you try to plot its course from the people looking up at the sky, this thing is playing pinball across the heavens. That's why I don't think Tarmiriel is looking at the meteor. I can't see how the meteor could fly over Numenor, pass by Tir Harad, and then fly over the Grey Havens. It doesn't make sense. We're told that the Harfoots who find Meteor Man are nomads, which isn't very helpful to figure out where he lands. But my best guess is that the meteor is actually coming from Mordor, or east of Mordor, passing near Tir Harad, flying over Fangorn Forest, passing over the Gulf of Loon, and landing in the forested foothills of the Blue Mountains. So who is Meteor Man? Yet to be seen. A recent teaser showing Meteor Man's hand holding a Harfoot hand while showing the phrase, "Nothing is evil in the beginning," strongly implies that Meteor Man is Sauron. Elrond says that quote at the Council of Elrond in the Third Age, specifically about Sauron. And no one else has been publicly cast as Sauron. So in the absence of other information, that makes the most sense. Also, there's a limited number of beings that could survive re-entry, essentially. Sauron would be one of those. But Meteor Man seems to be taken in by the Harfoots and shown mercy as they help him recover. Knowing that Sauron will soon cause untold suffering, it's not like Tolkien to have his characters regret showing another character mercy. Sauron fooling the overly kind Harfoots is not really in line with Tolkien's philosophy. So I think Meteor Man is someone else. Gotta be important to the story. The marketing is fixated on the who is the Meteor Man mystery. Probably gotta be a character people know from the books. I've heard theories of Gandalf, Saruman, a blue wizard, Radagast, Tom Bombadil, a Yarandil falling from the sky. Maybe it is a blue wizard. A fireball from the east might make sense. But why not both of the blue wizards? The theories are all a bit too fan-fiction-y. If it's not Sauron, I don't have a good answer. So, I'll throw out an even more fan-fiction-y theory. This has slightly over a 0% chance of being accurate. I originally said it as a joke, but then I thought, it's no worse than the other theories. So we know Meteor Man can survive being a fireball, and the implication is he's lost his memory. I think we're looking at a Maya spirit, a la the Five Wizards and Sauron. But there is another Maya spirit that we know from the books. We know where he was at the end of the First Age, and we know much of his exploits in the Third Age, but we know zero about what he was doing in the Second Age, other than possibly sleeping. And that's Durin's Bane. I know, a Balrog? Come on. I said it's a crazy theory. Balrogs were Maya spirits corrupted by Morgoth, much like Sauron. They could certainly survive as a fireball. Why is he flying? I don't know. But that goes for any crazy Meteor Man theory. And why is he in human form? Great question. Maybe with Morgoth's defeat at the end of the First Age, this surviving Balrog reverted back to his pre-corrupted state, only to be corrupted again later by Sauron's emergence. And in the meantime, he made nice with the Harfoots. This will not happen, but in the 0.0001% chance that it does, I officially win the internet. So there you go. The latest teaser for a teaser. I like the look of the show quite a bit. The great visuals. Not thrilled with the focus on Meteor Man, who appears to be something that the show made up, but I'm willing to see where they take it. And that's it. Thanks so much, everybody, and I'll see you next time.